Belton Court was once one of the largest and most opulent of the Gilded Age mansions in America, but over time it's been abandoned, teetering on the edge of demolition. But it wasn't always this way. Hi everyone, Ken here. Hit that subscribe button and let's explore this house. To understand how Belton Court in Barrington, Rhode Island became so neglected, we should back up to the very beginning. Our story starts with Frederick Peck. He was born in 1868 to a family that had been part of the Barrington area since colonial times. As a teenager in 1885, Frederick started out humbly as an office boy in his grandfather's mill. By 1903, he and his father Leander had incorporated the company and emerged as its principal stockholders, with Frederick serving as treasurer. When Leander passed away in 1909, Frederick took the helm, becoming the executive director of the firm and heir to the family's extensive estate and holdings. Over the next few decades, he aggressively diversified his ventures, amassing a personal empire that spanned various industries, from a realty company to a fuel company, while also holding directorships in prominent organizations like the Industrial Trust Company Bank and the Providence Gas Company. Backing up a bit, he had married Mary Burlingame in 1894 and started a family. It was around this time, at the height of his success, that Peck turned his attention to creating a home that reflected his stature, an estate that would be grand enough to match his lofty position. That vision would materialize as Belton Court, an extraordinary mansion built on family land in Barrington and named in honor of the Peck family's ancestral home in England. When Frederick set out to build Belton Court in 1905, he spared no expense in crafting a residence that embodied Gilded Age grandeur with a personal touch. The mansion's first phase was completed in 1906 and was designed by the prominent Providence architectural firm Martin & Hall. Constructed of rusticated granite blocks quarried right from Peck's own estate, the house exuded a sturdy elegance. The original section stood 2.5 stories tall and featured gentle arches over its windows and doors, subtle nods to the arts and crafts influence that prized fine craftsmanship and natural materials. In keeping with Peck's rising fortunes, Belton Court did not remain a modest country house for long. In 1927, after 2 decades of using the home, Peck undertook a dramatic expansion to transform Belton Court into one of the largest private residences in the United States. The expansion, designed by architect George Frederick Hall, a successor to the original firm, added extensive new wings to the north and west, wrapping the structure around a formal U-shaped courtyard with a fountain. It introduced elements one might expect in an old-world castle. A 4-story crenellated tower rose above the roofline, complete with battlement-like parapets, cleverly hiding a water tank for the estate's needs. By the time the renovations had been completed, Belton Court had ballooned to an astonishing 72,000 square feet. Let's take a quick look at the floor plan, noting that we'll be entering the main block of the house from the top of the screen and traveling down to the reception hall. Here we stroll between fluted Ionic columns, part of a colonnade, to make our way into the reception hall. Clad in rich woodwork skirting the room at half height, dramatic broken pediments mark the way to the adjoining rooms. But before we proceed to the dining room, let's take a moment to look up. The barrel-vaulted ceiling is traced in delicate plasterwork and arranged in a Jacobean pattern, lending an air of old-world sophistication to an otherwise brand-new build at the time. Crossing into the dining room, the wood cladding continues, this time with pilasters framing antique European tapestries and incorporating sconce lights instead of an overhead chandelier. Now, had we traveled in the opposite direction from the dining room, while in the reception hall, we would have stepped into the lounge, very much embracing the arts and crafts movement while blending in a few English Gothic touches. We can imagine the family gathering here for less formal events, sitting down by the fireplace and holding conversations with visitors. Our next stop is the ballroom, trimmed in mahogany with sections of damask spread between each pilaster. It was said that this room could play host to 500 guests. As we travel down the central corridor, we find ourselves making a sharp turn and heading through the gallery. Straight ahead is the library. The library's glass-paned black walnut bookcases are stuffed to the brim with rare and ancient books said to be among the finest collections in the world. As the decades progressed, Peck began subdividing and selling off portions of his family's extensive land in Barrington to developers, laying out what would become new suburban neighborhoods. More poignantly, he decided to let go of some of his cherished collections. In 1944, Peck sent a significant portion of his famed library of books and manuscripts to auction in New York. That same year, with an eye to the future, he made arrangements to ensure his magnificent home would continue to serve a purpose beyond his lifetime. Peck was a longtime president of the Providence Homeopathic Hospital, and in 1944 he officially bequeathed Belton Court to the hospital, a philanthropic gesture to repurpose his mansion as a healthcare facility. On January 20th, 1947, Frederick passed away at age 78. His grand plan to donate Belton Court to the hospital encountered a snag almost immediately. However noble the gesture, the hospital quickly determined that the sprawling estate was impractical for use as a modern medical facility. In 1948, the mansion found new life briefly as an educational institution. A short-lived school known as Edgewood Junior College took up residence at Belton Court for about 2 years. Then, in 1950, the property was acquired by the Providence Bible Institute, a religious college that soon consolidated its operations on the Barrington grounds. Recognizing the historical value, college officials led an effort to list Belton Court on the National Register of Historic Places, a goal achieved in 1976. Belton Court continued to serve as a college campus, even changing hands to another college. That was until 2007, when the 39-acre estate was listed for sale at $13 million. In 2011, after a few years of limbo, Belton Court was auctioned off and finally returned to private hands. A Massachusetts-based developer bought the property at auction for roughly $3.5 million and unveiled ambitious plans to redevelop the site. The proposal envisioned an upscale mixed-use senior living community that would adapt and preserve the old mansion as part of an adaptive reuse project. To many in Barrington, this seemed like a promising compromise. The estate would get a new lease on life, and Belton Court's elegant facade would remain intact. However, as years passed, these grand plans never fully materialized. The developer faced delays and eventually abandoned the project by 2017, putting the property back on the market. In the meantime, with no occupants or maintenance, Belton Court began to suffer from neglect. Utilities were shut off, vandals in the elements did their damage, smashing windows and allowing water and weather to intrude. The once manicured gardens grew wild, and the estate's lesser buildings deteriorated. In 2021, the developer indicated it might scrap the preservation idea altogether and sought permits to demolish Belton Court outright, clearing the way for new construction on the valuable land. While Belton Court's listing on the National Register provides honorific recognition, it offers no legal protection from demolition by a private owner. As of late 2025, Belton Court still stands, weathered and forlorn, but very much still part of the Barrington landscape for the time being. For now, the castle that Frederick Peck built over a century ago endures, a stone giant in uneasy slumber awaiting its fate. And with that, I'll turn it over to you. What did you think about Belton Court? Let me know down below in the comments section. And while you're there, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.